Oedipus spent his entire life running from a prophecy. Every step away from it brought him closer. He left the people he believed were his parents. He killed a stranger at a crossroads. He saved a city and married its queen. Years later, he began searching for the criminal who had cursed his kingdom. The investigation was brilliant. The detective was fearless, and the murderer he hunted was himself. Oedipus did not fail because he refused the truth. He failed because the truth had shaped his life before he knew his own name. The story begins in Thebes. King Laius and Queen Jocasta received a terrifying prophecy. Their son would kill his father. Then he would marry his mother. The child was born. The royal couple chose fear over love. They pierced or bound the baby's ankles. Then they ordered a servant to leave him on a mountain. Exposure was meant to kill him without forcing the parents to use their own hands. But the servant could not complete the murder. The baby was passed to a shepherd. Eventually, he reached the royal house of Corinth. King Polybus and Queen Merope had no child. They raised the abandoned infant as their own. They named him Oedipus. The name is associated with swollen feet. His injured ankles carried evidence of a past no one explained. Oedipus grew up believing he was the prince of Corinth. Polybus was his father. Merope was his mother. Then a drunken man suggested that Oedipus was not their true son. The insult disturbed him. He questioned his parents. They denied the accusation, but doubt remained. Oedipus traveled to the oracle at Delphi. He asked who his parents were. The oracle did not give the answer he wanted. Instead, it revealed the same horror given to Laius. Oedipus would kill his father. He would marry his mother. Oedipus made an immediate decision. He would never return to Corinth. He loved Polybus and Merope. By abandoning his home, he believed he was protecting them. This is the first cruel movement of fate. Oedipus acts responsibly according to the knowledge he has. But the knowledge is incomplete. The road away from his adopted parents leads toward his biological parents. At a narrow crossroads, Oedipus encountered an older nobleman traveling with servants. Neither side wanted to yield. Pride became violence. Accounts differ in detail. In the most famous tradition, the older man struck Oedipus. Oedipus fought back and killed him. He also killed most of the attendants. One servant escaped. The dead stranger was King Laius of Thebes. Oedipus had killed his father without knowing him. The first half of the prophecy was complete. Oedipus continued toward Thebes. The city was trapped by the Sphinx. The creature had the body of a lion, the wings of a bird, and the face of a woman. She asked travelers a riddle. Those who failed were killed. The riddle asked which creature changes the number of its legs. It uses 4 in the morning, 2 at noon, and 3 in the evening. Oedipus answered correctly. The creature was a human being. A baby crawls on 4 limbs. An adult walks on 2 legs. An elderly person uses a staff as a third. Defeated, the Sphinx destroyed herself. Thebes celebrated Oedipus as a savior. Its king had recently died. The grateful city offered Oedipus the throne. It also offered him the widowed queen. Oedipus married Jocasta. He did not know she was his mother. The second half of the prophecy was complete. For years, the secret remained hidden. Oedipus ruled successfully. He and Jocasta had children. Their sons were Eteocles and Polynices. Their daughters were Antigone and Ismene. The family appeared secure. Then plague entered Thebes. Crops failed. Animals died. Women lost children. The people gathered before the palace and begged Oedipus to save them again. He responded like a responsible king. He sent Jocasta's brother Creon to consult Apollo's oracle. The answer identified a hidden crime. The murderer of Laius still lived unpunished in Thebes. The pollution of that murder poisoned the city. The killer must be found. Oedipus publicly cursed the unknown criminal. He promised justice. He declared that no home should shelter the murderer. He did not know he was speaking against himself. Oedipus summoned the blind prophet Tiresias. The prophet refused to answer. Oedipus became angry. He accused Tiresias of conspiracy. Finally, Tiresias spoke. The king himself was the pollution. Oedipus rejected the claim. He believed Creon wanted the throne. The accusation sounded impossible. Oedipus had saved Thebes. Why would he have murdered its former king? Jocasta tried to calm him. She explained that prophecy could not be trusted. An oracle once said Laius would die by his son's hand. But their infant had been abandoned. Laius, she said, was killed by strangers at a crossroads. The word crossroads changed everything. Oedipus asked for details. Where had it happened? What did Laius look like? How many people traveled with him? The answers resembled the encounter Oedipus had tried to forget. One witness had survived. Oedipus ordered the man brought to the palace. Before the witness arrived, a messenger came from Corinth. King Polybus was dead. The Corinthians wanted Oedipus to become their king. At first, Oedipus felt relief. His supposed father had died naturally. Perhaps the prophecy was false. But he still feared returning to Merope. He might still marry the woman he believed was his mother. The messenger tried to remove that fear. Polybus and Merope were not Oedipus's biological parents. The messenger himself had received Oedipus as an abandoned baby. He had given the child to the Corinthian royal family. Jocasta understood before Oedipus did. She begged him to stop the investigation. She no longer wanted answers. Oedipus insisted. He believed he might discover humble or shameful parents. He said he could endure the truth. Jocasta left the room. The surviving shepherd arrived. He had once served King Laius. He was also the man ordered to expose the royal infant. Under questioning, he resisted. Oedipus threatened him. At last, the shepherd confirmed everything. The baby had been the son of Laius and Jocasta. He had been sent away because of the prophecy. The messenger had carried him to Corinth. Oedipus finally knew himself. He was the abandoned child. He was the man at the crossroads. He was the murderer of Laius. He was the son and husband of Jocasta. His children were also his half-siblings. Every role in his life collapsed into another. Oedipus ran into the palace. Jocasta had hanged herself. He lowered her body. Then he took the pins from her clothing. He drove them into his own eyes. The man who had been blind to his identity made physical blindness his punishment. Blood ran down his face. He asked to be exiled from Thebes. The curse he had pronounced against Laius's murderer now applied to him. Oedipus solved the mystery. The solution destroyed him. The myth is often described as proof that fate cannot be escaped. That is true, but it does not mean the characters lack choice. Laius and Jocasta choose to abandon their child. Oedipus chooses violence at the crossroads. He chooses to pursue the investigation. Each decision grows from character, fear, pride, or responsibility. Fate does not move them like lifeless pieces. It uses the choices they believe will defeat it. This creates the central tragedy. If Laius had raised his son differently, could the murder have been prevented? If Oedipus had controlled his anger, could the crossroads have ended peacefully? If everyone had told the truth earlier, could the family have recognized one another? The prophecy announces an outcome. Human attempts to avoid that outcome create the road toward it. Oedipus is neither innocent nor simply guilty. He did not knowingly kill his father. He did not knowingly marry his mother. But he did kill a man in anger. He did threaten witnesses. He did trust his intelligence so completely that disagreement looked like conspiracy. The same determination that defeated the Sphinx also uncovers his identity. His greatest strength and greatest flaw cannot be separated. Oedipus refuses comforting ignorance. Jocasta asks him to stop. He continues. The truth costs his throne, family, sight, and home. Yet he still chooses to know. That makes the ending horrific and strangely courageous. So remember the crossroads. It is more than the place where Oedipus kills Laius. It represents the moment when limited knowledge meets irreversible choice. No sign tells Oedipus which road leads away from fate. He acts. Years later, he understands what the road meant. We all make decisions before possessing the full story. Most mistakes do not fulfill ancient prophecy. But many consequences become clear only after there is no way to reverse them. Oedipus wanted to save the people he loved. He wanted to save Thebes. He wanted to discover the truth. Each desire was understandable. Together, they completed the destiny he feared. The king who answered the Sphinx could solve almost every riddle. He could not solve the one carried in his own body. When he finally found the answer, he learned why the oracle had never needed to chase him. Oedipus had been walking toward it all his life.